Next week on Thursday, Chapter 14. Bingo. I checked my email several times over the next couple of hours. Nothing. The cold shoulder. I took myself off for a walk and ended up in the enchanted woods, sitting on my crying rock by the stream. I listened to the gurgle of the brook tumbling over the stones, saddened by the first awareness of browning leaves rustling in the boughs above me. I remembered a line from one of Harold's emails. Relish what fall and winter have to offer. Everything in me shrieked against these harbingers of colder weather. I couldn't enjoy this pretty time of year, which reminded me that I was going to have to watch my garden die. I resented the light jacket I had on. I found the email late into the next afternoon. It said, "Where were you? I miss you." A worm of worry gnawed at me. Maybe something happened, something awful. I picked up the kitchen phone and dialed the phone number. It was almost closing time. I was giddy with glee to hear the grunt of greeting. "You don't seem to have received my last email," I said. "I'll resend it. I thought your silence meant you were still annoyed, or something worse." It didn't matter that I had no idea what he was attempting to say. I barreled on, barely pausing for breath. "Come tomorrow at 1 o'clock." Before I hung up, I added, "I hope Gloria doesn't mind." He didn't have a chance to respond. I resent the email and spent my evening editing Pauline's Journey, a diary of the times I spent with my friend during her last days. The journal was Pauline's idea. She wanted me to record every detail of my visits to her bedside, so I would have an album of words to remember her by when she was gone. I never knew, scratching at the pages of a notebook 2 years before, that I would tread the same path of agony once more, so soon. I picked up an email the next morning. The date and time indicated Tuesday afternoon. Today was Thursday. Odd. Harold wrote, "I came to your house at 1 p.m. I rang 5 or 6 times, but you were not home." I was desolate. If he'd only let me know earlier, I would have done the weekly groceries some other time. I had to take a walk. The long promenades helped ease the coil of tension and pain inside me, temporarily. The red light on the answering machine blinked when I walked into the house. I retrieved the voice message, and a prickle of alarm raced along my taut nerves. There was an indefinable note in Gloria Weissman's voice. I returned the call with a sense of heavy foreboding. "Gloria, I'm sorry it's late. I just picked up your message." I was on edge, on my guard. "Harold and I were planning to make the call together," Gloria said. Her words were clipped, but he had to leave. Oh Lord, what now? My heart sank. "I have serious concerns about his driving skills," Gloria continued. "No kidding. He can barely make it to the office and back. I'm not comfortable with his coming to your house." Bingo. I gathered my scattered wits. "I understand, Gloria, of course." "Okay, so you don't beat about the bush? I won't either. I don't feel comfortable in the office anymore, you see, and—" "I don't see why," she interrupted. "There doesn't seem to be a lawsuit pending. I feel like a silly idle woman who has nothing else to do with her time." a deafening silence at the end of the line. No comment. Help me here. I pressed on valiantly. The office is not entirely his own anymore. There are 2 other lawyers working there now. Annie's gone and Kathy doesn't really know me. You are there to spend time with your friend. I really see no reason for you to feel the way you do, she argued, crisp and cool. She's making me sound stupid. A moment of frozen silence while I desperately sought to gather the tremulous thread of conversation. Harold and I had a bit of a falling out last week. I called on Saturday morning because I felt terrible about getting upset with a sick man. She softened slightly. I heard about it. True friendship is about being able to share anything, not just journals. I have all sorts of friendships. I'm sure he was able to handle what happened. All sorts of friendships. I made up my mind. Gloria, I said firmly, would you tell Harold I'll be down this afternoon at the usual time? Gloria reverted to being aloof and businesslike. Oh, okay, that's fine. She never addressed me by name, not once. Harold was with a client and I had to wait, again, for quite a while. It was 4 o'clock before Kathy told me I could go in. My contrite heart swelled when I set eyes on my friend. He looked so frail. He opened his arms. I dropped my handbag on the nearest chair and ran to him. He almost toppled over backwards, taking me with him. My throat grew tight. My eyes misted over. I whispered, "Shalom, my friend. I am so sorry." His Adam's apple jerked as he beamed through the drops glistening on his lashes. We sat down in front of the large desk. His chair faced mine. I crawled on my hands and knees under the desk to locate the connecting wire and placed the keyboard on his lap. Harold's face puckered as he punched the keys with unsteady fingers, turning his thoughts into brief sentences. I tried to spare him the effort by attempting to guess what he might be saying. I was invariably off and realized I could be irritating him. He wrote, "The procedure to have the feeding tube inserted is scheduled for tomorrow. I am ready for it now." On the desk was the ever-present glass of blended fruit. Always the same combination. Always the same viscous consistency and same dark purple-pink color. Beside it, a small plate of sliced cold meats and assorted cheeses. The tube would do away with the endless chewing and swallowing and terrifying episodes of choking on rivers of saliva. A stream of letters marched across the screens to create a tangled tapestry of words. I spend 6 hours a day trying to get food down me. I know. You've made the right decision. You know that, don't you? He nodded and tapped. This way, I can also ingest my medication in liquid form. How do you feel about it? I asked. We relaxed on a gentle island of quietness. His fingers crawled over the keyboard. The answer unraveled on the screen. I'm a bit leery about it. And Gloria? I queried. She wants me to live. Well, duh. There is a prospective lawyer from the States for the business. That's great news. I glanced at my watch. The twins had to go to their piano lesson. I took Harold's outstretched hand in mine, and something snapped. I burst into tears. Rummaging blindly in my handbag, I made a futile effort to dab my face with a threadbare fistful of tissues I found inside. Harold lifted his chin to direct me to the box of Kleenex sitting on the desk. I reached for it, trying to lighten the mood as I did by saying, "Put it on my account." The unruly eyebrows quivered. His eyes danced. He was reluctant to say goodbye. I looked back as I crossed the parking lot. Harold was watching me through the wall-sized tinted glass window. I waved and dropped the car keys, shaking my head and laughing when he beckoned me to return for a last hug. It would be a long week until next Thursday. To be continued.